Hi all, welcome to this potential team of the group stage for the Europa League. Now obviously we might get it mixed between Champions League and Europa League, but obviously I featured the Champions League earlier on, so I thought might as well give the Europa League some credence as well. So watch likes would be awesome. Sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter at @GIsALegend. All the links are down below for posting the channel and social media links as always. Now this one's a little bit more interesting. Yes, it's not as impressive. Some people might say, oh, we're like, say, Aubameyang or Mkhitaryan or whoever, but these guys aren't like guaranteed to happen. Like, Kepa's made 8 saves and 4 clean sheets, and definitely a strong, consistent campaign. Goalkeeping wise, there's not been very many others. Now, Chelsea themselves have been very good defensively, so Kepa, even though he has kept 4 clean sheets, someone else defensively could easily get in. You never know, they might just decide, I will put somebody in as an alternative. Kepa, I would imagine, if happened, could be like 86 rated. They'll probably just put it just above an inform. Makes him a little bit more appealing to do. Like Steiner, 1 goal and 4 clean sheets. He seems to have been very, very impressive for Arsenal in Europe. Yes, they've not had the hardest of groups, but regardless, Arsenal definitely defensively sound. They've needed his kind of like experience at the back, because they've been relying on a lot of the youngsters. Socrates has been impressive as well, but for me it's all been about Lichtsteiner really more, and I would say an 84 rated card for him. 83 would obviously go to an inform. I feel 84 is what he would go to, and it would then suddenly make him a bit more appealing to then try and have as like a card to keep in your club. Whether or not we get one or not is a different matter, so keep our eyes peeled with him. But as I said, it would be probably him or Socrates that would happen. Then Kieran Tierney, 1 goal and 2 clean sheets. He is on the fence on happening. I think if Celtic get a result in the last group stage to get them through, if we got a team in the group stage Europa League, I think Tierney would happen. He was very, very he's been very impressive consistently in the group stage, even when results have been against Celtic. And I think, say, an 81, 82 rated card could be on the cards if it was to happen, and suddenly Tierney would be a very appealing card to have as an alternative at left back. But obviously you wouldn't really find many people use him, so it then becomes quite interesting. Like, people would have the card, but it's like, what can I do with him? So kind of like swings and roundabouts. Weiser, 1 goal. The thing is with Bayer Leverkusen, they have been absolutely they've been very impressive. There's more than one player from Bayer Leverkusen that would get in, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Bayer Leverkusen, because defensively they've not been completely perfect, but Weiser's definitely been a key part at the back. So, but he's been very, very consistent. He's been very consistent. That's why we've got him in this team in the group stage squad. I'm also maybe just kind of putting him in just for the sake of it kind of aspect. So whereas other players from Bayer Leverkusen may be more guaranteed, Weiser is a bit more of a punt, and somebody else defensively from another team might get in. Saigonov's 2 goals and 3 assists for Dynamo Kiev, who have been very, very consistent and impressive in Europe. Saigonov, for me, stands out of one card that would happen. I would imagine if he was to happen, it would probably be like around an 83 rated card. The inform would go to an 82, so that's why we said an 83. You want to kind of put in between 2 informs. You don't want to quite make it 2 informs, you don't want to quite make it an inform boost. You want to make it something just in between. That way it just makes him a little bit more appealing to own, and just gives you an alternative to have. So definitely an interesting card to look forward to. And Saigonov would be one of these cards that he's like a wonder kid in career mode. Give him the boost in foot, and he suddenly becomes a little bit more like those kind of cards in career mode. Then with Lo Celso, this guy has been absolutely consistent and something else for Real Betis in a difficult group potentially, actually, because they had AC Milan and they've kind of tore them apart. But 3 goals, 1 assist for Lo Celso. Now he's got a UCL base card for PSG, which is an 81 rated, if you've noticed. Now on that basis, I would say an 84 rated card for Lo Celso if it was to happen. Now if that was the case, an 84 rated Lo Celso suddenly does become a little bit more appealing, and because of La Liga, it gives you extra options to kind of link him up to not just Messi and say Banega, but other players in general. Then going on to Banega, he got 3 goals and 1 assist. Obviously we've still got one set of group fixtures left, but Sevilla for some reason they're not guaranteed through for what I've seen, and if that is the case, I would say Sevilla are on a very fine line. Now I know a lot of people will say, oh, what about Muriel, what about other players from the team? The biggest problem is Sevilla, despite their running rampant, they won 6-1 against Standard Liège on like the opening group game. They beat Akizar like 5-0, but then like they've lost like 2, then they beat them 3-2, and then they've lost 2 games. Then from there, Jeremy Lens, he has got himself a very good run in Europe with 3 goals, 1 assist. What's kind of helped him get closer to potentially getting in is the 1 goal, 1 assist that he got for Besiktas last night, and the other night even, the 2-0 down they were against Sarpsborg and won 3-2. And I think sometimes when you get that 1 goal, 1 assist in a game that's kind of just puts result your way, just kind of helps, especially since the other night Besiktas to be 2 down against a team that people would say, Besiktas should wipe the floor against them. Clearly they didn't. It took them to the very last few minutes just to kind of nick the result, and Lens kind of played a big part in that. And that's but as a whole, Besiktas have been generally quite consistent, and they might actually go a decent little run. Then Bruno Fernandes, he's got 2 goals, 1 assist for Sporting. They've looked very good as a second team to Arsenal in the group. Sporting wise, Rafinha's probably the other one that kind of stands out for what I've seen. I can't see Nani getting in despite him having a couple good performances, but I feel Bruno Fernandes would be the one that stands out for me. I think it's going to be difficult to kind of look past much others, and it also just bulks up that midfield. I think Bruno Fernandes would go to an 86 rated card. It would then make him very appealing to do, and actually be a nice alternative at cam. Like, when would you and also saying that there's not too many high rated midfielders from Portugal that are like special cards. And Jovic, honestly, when does Jovic not feature this year? He's been featured, I think, a few times as an inform for like Team of the Week predictions. He's been featured like 2 months now for Player of the Month for Bundesliga, and now he's getting featured for a Team of the Group stage for the Europa League with 5 goals. The guy can't stop scoring just now this season. I'm actually kind of worried how many goals he's got for the season collectively when you think of like the German Cup, the League, and then Europe. He must be close to like 20, he must be like 15-20 goals or something. It's absolutely mental. The guy is running riot, and I'm saying 85 rated, but then if he was to win Bundesliga Player of the Month, say, which I don't think he will, but if he was, then where would he go? It would be kind of crazy. And De Boer's 5 goals, 1 assist. This guy has ran riot for Red Bull Salzburg. Seems to, since coming back in last season, he ran riot last season, and this season he's continued this form. Minamino is another good shout from the team. Gulbransson's another, but Minamino's 4 goals seems the most likely next challenger to De Boer, but De Boer would probably be like 82 rated, I'd imagine. Joel Robles, who would have said him? But when he's played in the 3 games that they've played, he's kept 3 clean sheets. The 2 games that he hasn't played, they have conceded, but in the 3 games he has played, he's kept 11 saves, at least recorded, and he's been very impressive. Like, I've watched him in a couple of the games, and he has actually been very consistent. Like, he's proved why he's a good number 2 at Betis, but he's also, when he's been asked to step up, he has stepped up very well for Betis. This lad Michaelenko is a bronze. He's a young lad, 19 years of age, yet he has been very, very impressive for Dynamo Kiev in Europe. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist and a clean sheet. There is other players that could feature, like Moroluk, the right back, but this lad could get a heck of an upgrade from a bronze rated 56 to like a silver 74 or something. I think they would do a mental upgrade just to make him usable. It's mental. Nagajani or something. This is a mouthful. Apologies if I've completely massacred this guy's name, but this dude has kept 3 clean sheets for Slavia Prague, and they've only conceded like 3 goals. but definitely deserves a shout for. He's also had a very, very impressive, consistent match rating for every game he's played. I've seen 2 or 3 of the games, and the guy looks really consistent at the back. Guendouzi's 1 goal, been very, very consistent in midfield. I know a lot of folk would say, "Oh, what about Mkhitaryan? What about Aubameyang?" But Guendouzi has played in all 5 games. He's played 4, came off the bench in 1, and the lad definitely deserves a strong shout for an upgrade as a team of group stage card. Whether it happens or not is a different matter, but I was also trying to look around the board in terms of who else deserved the shout. Loftus-Cheek, 3 goals. Him, Giroud. I know folk will say like Willian and Aspilicueta, but Loftus-Cheek deserves a lot of credit. Definitely impressive. If he was to get a boost, I would imagine maybe like an 83 rated card. I would imagine it will go above like a first in form. So, but definitely impressive, and the lad's shown in Europe that even though it's not the most impressive teams in the world, that he's been getting a chance and he's taken it. Havertz, 3 goals, 3 assists. Like, what was it, a couple of years ago he was like a bronze, like 55 rated or something, 56 rated. Now he's like 78, 79 in a couple of years, and he's just growing leaps and bounds and standing out. And then Cutrone, 4 goals for AC Milan. Another one that was just a couple of years was just a silver, and now he's just built himself up quite nicely and could do like what Andre Silva had himself not so long ago. He was given a team of group stage card. But for others that could get a shout, as I said, for top possible, you've got Olmo, Hadrovic and Gavranovic, and even Orsic from Dynamo Zagreb. You've got Bellarabi, Fornals, Higuain, Calhanoglu, Djenepo from Standard Liège, Luis Muriel and Sanabria, just to name a few. So possibly some good cards from top possible. I know a lot of folk will say Willian, Mkhitaryan as well. So plenty of food for thought for a team of the group stage Europa League. Let me know in the comments down below who you would like if we were to get these group stage cards for the Europa League. Smash likes as always, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter at TOTGS Legend. TOTGS UEL, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.